what's going on,
Hey.
Patriots? He's like, it snuck up on us. I get caught. You know what gets me? I get caught with singing the damn song, man. I like that song, and I get caught
It
up
is a nice
singing the
song.
damn song.
Hey,
Third story, man.
I
Shout
I
out to
just got
those guys.
something. I just got something pretty cool. I just hit 130,000 followers on X. Woo
Oh
woo.
wow, yeah. I just hit 15 too. No,
Neck and neck,
I'm
man.
man, yeah, neck and neck. You know, if you don't square it by 10, but guys, listen, we got a really action-packed show for you guys tonight. In no BS, there's so much going on, but one of the things that Maurice and I talked about, I think we all have noticed it since like 9/11, since 2001. People have been looking at Bush and Cheney and these guys and not really, even though they're conservatives, people don't vibe with these guys. We don't vibe with Mitt Romney. We don't vibe with Paul Ryan. We don't, none of these guys. Liz Cheney. And so now all of a sudden they're coming out and they're riding for Harris. And it's supposed to be a big shock to us that they're not on our team. We're going to get into that a little deeper later, but that's just giving you kind of a hint where we're going, which is the name of the show. The New World Order is back. And
I do want to. I do want to address. I do want to address something as well to all of Steve's followers out there. Steve couldn't make it on the show tonight, but he is a new podcast host for the Patriots Prayer, so we are broadcasting from his page as well. So once he doesn't have any more hurricanes going through his area and other
crazy.
disasters going on.
He's scaring the hell out of me. We were getting ready to move down there. And now I don't know, man. I don't know anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know anymore.
Shout out to Steve Loves Ammo. He's a great guy, a great patriot. And
look out for Red, White, and Loaded, guys. Red, White, and Loaded, the podcast coming soon.
His show is going to be lit. It's going to be loaded.
Yeah.
So great.
I was trying to get him to use America's Kitchen, right? I didn't suggest it, but it came to me later because the remember the rapper that we interviewed, Jam Wayne.
Jam Wayne.
Jam Wayne. He has that song America's Kitchen about vets and all. It's pretty badass, dude. So it would have went well. But I like Red, White, and Loaded, and we got the brand pretty much down. We have the theme song all picked and ready to go. So I mean, we got all the pieces of the puzzle, and it's going to be amazing. It's going to be pretty cool. So what we're going to dive into first is: have you done any reading about TDA, Maurice?
TDA, be more specific.
TDA, let's see. It's that Venezuelan gang that they're saying is running into the United States. They're all over Chicago, New York, the Aurora, Colorado, obviously made famous by them taking the place over with machine guns, throwing people out of their apartments, all this sort of thing. We were lied to. We were told these guys were like a mere street gang, trying to make them look like MS-13. And it turns out to be a lot more than that. Military is guarding the streets in New York, in the subways and such. And then James O'Keefe did some legwork and found out that, well, I mean, he got some, I wouldn't call it classified documents. I think he called it CUI. And I'll play the clip for you so I don't butcher exactly what the hell he was trying to say. But this guy always gets the story, dude. It's crazy. Nobody can keep up with this guy. Like, nobody. I mean, you could not, if you tried, be this guy. Like, he's been putting in the work for too many years, and they tried to take him out several times. But in all reality, roll the clip. Let's see it. Let's see it. All right, here we go. So share screen, make sure the sound is on, all the check. All right. So here it is. And he's talking about this document that he got from the military, his plug inside. And he's talking about this street gang. Listen to what he has to say, and we'll talk after.
Leak. U.S. Army CUI documents with a warning of criminal Venezuelan.
Wow, I can barely hear this.
Yeah, I could too.
Across New York City. The document states that Train de Aragua has established a presence in Brooklyn, Bronx, and Williamsburg, New York. Approximately 400 TDA members live in those cities. Train de Aragua, known as TDA, criminal organization members in Denver have been given a green light to fire on or attack law enforcement in Denver, Colorado. HSI New York reportedly received a similar report. O'Keefe Media has obtained controlled unclassified information known as TUI, distributed by the U.S. Army of the North Division, about Train de Aragua, one of the largest criminal organizations in Venezuela, with an estimated 5,000 members. Now, this group has expanded across states of New York and Colorado, involved in human trafficking, drug, and weapons smuggling. The distribution of this TUI document comes after videos showing National Guardsmen in subway stations and establishing a presence throughout New York City.
National Guard is now all over Brooklyn, man.
Why is the Army at this hotel?
We're here at the request of the state of New York. It has been confirmed through the documents provided to us. Train de Aragua, a criminal organization, has active members in Denver and have been given a green light to fire on or attack law enforcement in Denver, Colorado. HSI New York received similar reports. The Denver news comes on the heels of videos of Venezuelan gang members rushing into apartment complexes in Aurora, Colorado in August of this year. The document states that the Train de Aragua members are 57 miles from West Point. West Point is the nation's first established military academy located in West Point, New York.
I want to pause for a second and address that video with them going up there with those AKs into the apartment complex, knocking on the doors. The guy's recording it. This went viral, beyond viral. We were told the Hells Angels were heading that way to do what the law enforcement wouldn't do. That turned out to be a straight rumor. The people in that apartment complex have vacated that apartment complex, and now that apartment complex is up for sale. The couple of questions that I have about this are probably the same as yours. This wouldn't happen if they weren't letting it happen, right? I mean, we're the biggest bullies on the block. We're the United States of America. Don't ever think that we're not the biggest bullies in the entire world. Bigger than China, bigger than Russia, bigger than all of them. We have a what they call a street gang, supposedly, coming across our border. They have over 5,000 members going to several states throughout the United States. Thank you, Joe Biden. Thank you, Kamala Harris. They are the ones to blame for this. But now they're setting up a shop, getting more organized. The police never showed up to this apartment building. The FBI never showed up to this apartment building. Both of them said, this is not our problem. We can't do anything.
I think a lot of people have been avoiding this conflict as well. And one thing that, I mean, we've been talking about this for quite a while, is that a lot of these military men, or at least their age is appropriate to be military men, they are taking over these areas and going unnoticed for the most part. But the majority of people who have crossed the border in the past 3 years are military-aged men. This will cause problems for us. It won't be immediate. We won't see it right away. But we are seeing little hints of what's to come in the future. And
Correct.
What is actually coming down the road to us right now. What we are marching towards. Because best case scenario, if Trump wins and we have to deport these people, there will be opposition. And there will be ignorant lefties supporting them as well. So we are going to have some serious problems coming down the road to try to get this under control.
Yeah, Tim Pool talked about that, and it's funny when you said something that's absolutely right, because then you hear somebody else say the same exact thing almost word for word. We had discussed how in the hell we would even go about getting these guys out of the country. Well, you have to put them into some place where they can hold them. The only place that we have that can hold these many people would be those camps that we all term FEMA camps across the United States. And to round this many people up and put them into those camps to get them back to their countries in an organized fashion is not going to be an easy task. It's going to be a military operation, or probably last the entire length of Trump's presidency, if he even finishes by the time it's all said and done. But yeah, I mean, do you think they're willingly going to go? No. These guys with all these AK-47s, M16s and all, do you think that they're just going to surrender willingly? No, they're going to shoot it out. And in the process, a lot of Americans are going to get hurt. This group is tied to the murder of Laken Riley as well. And here, I got this here. Watch.
Are you learning?
Yeah, hey, Nicole. So reporting on this gang isn't something that's new to News Nation. We've been covering Tren de Aragua, or TDA, since about January, and that was when they first made headlines because the gang was involved in the murder of a Florida police officer. And then they really made headlines when the murder of 22-year-old nursing student out of Georgia, Laken Riley, when she was killed, and the suspects, his brother has direct ties to TDA. So now we're seeing these things crop up across the nation, and we're seeing them in several different states. Now, most recently, police in Prairie du Chien, it's a tiny rural town in Wisconsin with only about 5,300 people. Well, they are reporting that a 26-year-old Venezuelan national, who you're looking at here on your screen, was arrested for physically and sexually assaulting a woman, and a juvenile female was also injured in that altercation.
That's crazy. That is absolutely nuts. Our women are getting raped, our women are getting murdered, kids are in danger, apartment complexes, people are not safe in their own homes, they're getting thrown out with machine guns. The news is playing this down, or this would be, they wouldn't be saying it, TDA is coming into our country and we've been reporting on us. They would be screaming it. They would be like, if they were telling you the truth, and it was actually, they were presenting it to you in such a way as to equal the amount of danger that has been caused by what's happened at our border, they would have a whole different inflection in their voice, similar to the one that happened on the day when the towers fell, when the planes hit the towers, when all of these things happened. They came on, you heard the tone, you knew there was something that shook our country to its core. This is no different. This is no different. And it's not being seen or reported on in the way that it should be. They're dialing it down. They're Donald Trump played down the coronavirus. Well, everybody on the left is playing this down, and this is much more dangerous than a virus that kills 99 point. I mean, you survive. Like what was the mortality rate? 0.1, something nuts.
It's
very
so
insignificant.
The survival rate is 99.98%. But
it's like really, really extremely high.
Yeah.
If I busted into your hospital room and I said, dude, I'm sorry to tell you this, but you got a 99.98% chance of living. Like, oh, thank you. This is asinine. And I don't know what the end game is, but all I can say is my belief, Eddie's belief, is that this would not be happening in the United States if they didn't want it to happen in the United States.
No, this has definitely been planned for a very long time, and this goes way before Trump got into office. And I've said this 100 times, Trump was never supposed to win. This was always the plan, to flood our country and to create this kind of chaos, to keep inflation rising. And the fact that Trump won threw a wrench in their plans, put everything on halt for 4 years, and then they threw in Joe Biden to hyper accelerate what they were supposed to be doing the entire time, which was supposed to be like a slow takeover of our country. But they knew that they had to kind of kick it into high gear. And so that's why we have 18 million criminal aliens that we know of that are came across the border and have been welcomed in by the Biden administration, literally shuffled into the country. I mean, this isn't something that just happened like, oops, up by accident, 18 million people just slipped through. Whoopsie. No, this can only be done on purpose. And the way that they've strategically placed them around the country, and the fact that the migrants know where they're going when they come up to the border, that should tell you it's pre-planned. When they're coming through the border and being recorded, and they say, hey, where are you going? I'm going to Denver, Colorado. Where are you going? New York. Where are you going? California. I mean,
They're going where they're sent. That's what's going on. They're going where they're sent. The cartels in those prospective places that are sent, and it's not just the cartels, right? They're a big part of it. But now this is international beyond just Mexico, Ecuador, Venezuela, these types of places in South America. We got people coming from Senegal and China and all these other places. And what I heard Trump say, what you heard Trump say when we were here, when we went to that little small event, is that not only are the governments of their prospective countries sending them here, but they're telling them, if you come back, we will kill you. So they emptied their prisons. They emptied their insane asylums, and they said, go to the United States right now, but if we catch you back here, you're done. It's over. We're going to kill you. So they all came to the United States, and we welcomed them in at the border. And you're telling me that our CIA, our intelligence apparatus knows that now, because Trump said it, he got briefed. So he told us exactly what they were saying. And yet nobody on this side got in trouble because they didn't stop them at the border. Wouldn't the heightened awareness, didn't we used to have those terror watch alerts? They give us all these grades for, we had a terror watch alert at a red or whatever, but what are they doing? Nothing more, nothing less than what they've ever done. And this is what's happening. And I just want to see, just somebody slap somebody, choke somebody, put somebody in jail. I will feel better if you just pick one dude and kick his ass. Let me see something happen. But they're not doing a damn thing. Nothing's happening. We got people dying.
Half the time I feel like I'm taking crazy pills, trying to understand what the heck these people are doing to our country and how people are allowing it in any way, shape, or form. Yeah. Because the fact that they've opened up the border, and I made a post about this earlier today about Native Americans. Native Americans make up 1.6 to 2% of the United States population. So at most, there's 6 million Native Americans. In the last 3 years, the Democrats have imported over 18 million that we know of, documented. They've imported 3 times the amount of Native Americans left in this country in the last 3 years. And these are adults. Wow. How is it?
They've imported more people than Native Americans?
The Native Americans.
Jeez. I never looked at it in that way.
Yep. So the highest estimate of Native Americans in this country is 2% of the population. So that would be about 6 million people. 6 million Native Americans left in this country. The Biden administration, the Biden-Harris administration, has imported 18 million. That is 3 times the entire population of Native Americans that are now replacing any kind of semblance. Like, I don't know. I literally can't understand why Native Americans are still placating this, because you know what? You know where these illegals are going to get put? They're going to get put on reservations. They're going to get put in cities. Like, why do you think the government that went back on every treaty they ever made, why do you think now that the people that they are importing, they're not going to throw onto your reservations? That the cartels or the Venezuelan gangs aren't going to come over and take over your reservations? They're already flooding your reservations with fentanyl and with opioids and alcohol.
And you got some of those people in the Answer Coalition and others that are backing them. And look, Christy Noem. Christy Noem was telling them, hey, get those guys the hell off your reservation. And they turned on her like she was saying something wrong.
They banned her from the reservation for being racist.
Wow.
It is completely ridiculous, and they are cheering for their own downfall, and so are many Americans are, and
yeah,
I like I said, I feel like I'm taking crazy pills because there's so many different ways that the U.S. is failing, that the United States population is failing, that Americans in general are falling, or they've already fallen way behind, but now it's like trying to correct it. like my solution to correct this is going to take a long time. There's no quick fix to this because it's been happening for decades. They've destroyed the nuclear family. They've destroyed what marriage is. They're importing criminal aliens that have no idea what the Constitution is and are fully subservient to the benefits of the government. They are a serf class that will be obedient to get the scraps that they're handed.
Hey, watch it, serf class. They're gonna call you a racist, but you're not wrong.
This is what they're doing, and I don't know how to convince people more that they're cheering for their own downfall, that they're being replaced or erased or they're sterilizing children. Like, what are you guys doing? How else can I express this to you? They want you dead. They will eliminate you. They will erase you. They do not want you to have children. That's why they tell you to abort your child. That's why they want you to put your child through gender-affirming care after your son plays with a doll once. They want you to sterilize your child. They want your bloodline to end because they want to keep all the money, all the power. They're importing a serf class to shove the middle class back down to the lower class, and they want a permanent separation between them and us. And for some reason, everybody with TDS thinks that, I'm the enemy. I'm the bad guy because I want Trump to win because he isn't the guy rubbing elbows with these people who hate all of us. It's insane to me.
They absolutely hate us, and their objective is to censor us, shut us up, lock us up. This is what they've been doing. The 5th District Court caught the Biden administration doing it. Kamala just a few days ago was saying that X better get with the program or else. As you know, Zuckerberg just came out and said, either you're going to play ball or we're going to shut Facebook down. And so all of these things are like right in our faces, but they tend to overlook all of it and say, no, Trump bad, Orange Man bad. Like, they're not paying attention. I just literally got a text from a buddy of mine. I told you went to school in San Francisco, and he just sent me a text, and I'm going to read it to you because it's that stupid. He said that Trump set up, and they're really putting this out in the news. OK Magazine literally printed this, that Trump's assassination was staged. Now, you talk about misinformation. Guys, listen, I got pictures of him. You can see how close I was to him. Now, I never, right after the assassination, when we were down in Atlanta, was within a few weeks of that happening. And I'm telling you, with my own 2 eyes, I seen the wound on his ear. They're saying there's nothing wrong with his ear. You know why? He's got liquid Band-Aid on his ear, guys. It's that simple. To say that you saw the same replay I did. If he didn't turn in the fraction of a second that he did, half his head would be gone. You can't time that.
He got a tiny little cut on his ear, okay? And it was from a bullet.
It was absolutely from a bullet.
It didn't blow half his ear off. Like, the way that they're portraying this is like, well, his ear is still there. It's intact. It's like, yeah, no shit. It was a tiny little cut. Ears bleed a lot. So even that little cut, once it started bleeding, it looked worse than it was, but it was still a bullet that went right past his head that caused that.
Exactly. And when they slowed it down, you've seen the vapor trail. You've seen everything, every angle, every sound from every bullet, and every gun was analyzed, the audio, and that boy was definitely dead, like dead. So I don't understand this. They're so willing to hate the man. They're willing to believe anything and everything they're told just because it goes along with their feelings. I want to jump into the other. Go ahead.
That actually goes nicely into our next segment and what we're going to talk about, because right now what I'm seeing a lot is that all the former Republicans aren't even voting for Trump, and so the left is trying to use this as if it is something against us.
Nope.
Right? I've always called myself a free thinking patriot, right? I'm not a Democrat, I'm not a Republican. I am a patriot of this country, just a regular old everyday citizen who now is speaking up and has a bigger voice. But I have never blindly supported Republicans, and I never will, because there's been a uniparty. Like, everything that Trump supporters have been screaming about who we've been fighting is now endorsing Trump. Or is now endorsing Kamala.
Well, yes, right. We called them out. We called these people this for, for me, I could say it's since 2001. So 2 decades, I've been screaming that George Bush is a damn idiot and he is absolutely a globalist. He's not a Republican. He's a neocon. Same with Dick Cheney. Same with Mitt Romney. Same with all these people. So, I mean, we're going to get into that more. I got the videos to go along with it, the backstory. You guys are going to get it before this is over. I guarantee. Do you want to say anything before we go to break?
Nope.
All right, guys. So we'll be right back after this. If I can actually remember where I put the commercial, that I'd play it. Give me just a second. I said I'm ready, but I'm not ready, evidently. Here we go.
Since the beginning of time, all living creatures rely on the sun's source of natural light to grow and to help promote overall wellness. We are all light beings. The patches are all natural and drug-free that uses the body's own natural light to help promote general health and wellness. How it works. Simply place the patch on specific points on your body and where the patch is placed on your skin. It reflects back into the body when it's tapped into its own flow of natural energy, which in turn creates the GHK-Cu copper peptide, which rejuvenates your cells and gives you a more younger, healthier you.
So listen, guys, Patriots, as we age, we do lose a little bit of energy, of course, but that's not our fault. Our bodies change as we grow. And the phototherapy patches, the rejuvenate your cells in that in that commercial you just saw, they play a key role in the aging process. The research for those patches have found that a number of functioning cells that they affect will decrease the elasticity in your skin, causing wrinkles. But the effects of using those patches are going to be less stress, more energy, pain management. So guys, go check them out. MiracleHealingTherapy.com. That's MiracleHealingTherapy.com. Go get yours today. So right before we left, we were talking about the New World Order, right? For lack of a better term, I think everyone forgets that term and forgets that this is what they were saying they were pushing for all the way back when George Bush Sr. was president. And I want to remind everybody that, just like you said, there's a false right-left paradigm. There's a uniparty. And I'm going to put some of that on display. If you remember Tim Russert in Meet the Press, you remember who that is?
Eddie, you ask me this all the time. I am terrible with names. I cannot remember names very well. There are some people I remember their names, but for the most part, no. I'll remember their face. Okay. I'll remember what they say. But as far as names go, I don't know why. I can't do it.
So here it is. So back when George Bush Jr. Was Junior, I call him Junior, but you know what I'm talking about. So when he was running for president, he was running. The person he was running against was John Kerry. And everyone thought, okay, well, one's a Democrat, one's a Republican. BS. I'm going to show you guys something, and you tell me.
The secret society. It's so secret we can't talk about it. What does that mean for America? The conspiracy theorists are going to go on. I'm sure they are. I don't know. I haven't seen the web. Number 322? First of all, he's not the nominee. And, look, I look forward. Are you prepared to lose? No, I'm not going to lose.
You both were members of Skull and Bones, a secret society at Yale. What does that tell us? Not much, because it's a secret. Is there a secret handshake? Is there a secret code? I wish there were something secret I could manifest. 322, a secret number? There are all kinds of secrets, Tim, but one thing is not a secret. I disagree with this president's direction that he's taking the country. We can do a better job, and I intend to do it. And we'll be watching. Be safe on the campaign trail. John Kerry, thanks for joining us. And we'll be right back.
So what you just saw was John Kerry and George Bush admitting right in the press, they were both members of Skull and Bones, which is a fraternity at Yale, a secret society that's connected to Bohemian Grove. And I'm sure everyone that follows Alex Jones has heard of the Bohemian Grove and what goes on there and that sort of thing. But Skull and Bones is their satellite kind of fraternity. So you go through that before you get entered into this. And the Thule Society, which came from Germany. And these are all things that are actually real, guys. They're actually real. They actually do this. Dick Gergen was caught by Alex Jones on the street, and he asked him about Skull and Bones and the ceremonies that take place there. And he got extremely angry with Alex Jones about this. Have you ever saw that interview where Alex Jones walks up to him on the street and asks him about it? He got pissed off.
This is actually one of the more infuriating things about trying to explain why I support Trump or why I am the way that I am. Because you have to go back so far. I mean, this is something that if you're on the right, you should definitely know already and understand that these people are the people that we're up against. The swamp, right? It's like a nebulous term that Trump has been talking about, saying, oh, we need to drain the swamp, right? The deep state. Who is the deep state? That's them. That's part of it. It's not all of it.
It's the press. It's the press. The rest of it.
Yeah. But these secret societies, the Skull and Bones, the Bohemian Grove, everybody who rubs elbows together, like there's no difference between Obama and Bush, right? Like that
on paper, they're the same person.
That was the false choice that we used to have, saying that, okay, we went from Clinton to Bush to Obama, and it was supposed to be on paper. It's a back and forth.
Watch this. You didn't even know I had this when you said that.
Now the COVID-19 vaccines are available to millions of Americans,
and soon they will be available to everyone.
The science is clear. These vaccines will protect you and those you love from this dangerous and deadly disease.
They could save your life.
So we urge you to get vaccinated when it's available to you.
That's the first step to ending the pandemic and moving our country forward.
And we all know that's bullshit now. Complete and utter bullshit now. You know my own personal story about this and my wife's and the things that she's gone through. Thank God that, they went in and they looked at that mass that was growing inside, and one of the tests came back inconclusive, and we have to go back in and do it. And the rest of it, they're going to be able to remove. So there's still a threat of something worse happening. And obviously she's deaf on one side, all because she got the first 2 vaccine shots. And there's a lot of people with that same exact story. Julie Threet, who's running for office up in Butte, California, her mother died. There's just a ton of stories, guys.
Oh, absolutely. There's a million different stories, but it's the way that they put it out. And the fact that Clinton, Bush, and Obama were all right there. They are buddies. There's no difference between any one of them. You guys, we have been tricked for decades. We have been told as the American people that we have a choice. And the only choice that we weren't supposed to choose was Trump in 2016. He had a 98% chance of losing. He was not supposed to win because that was not our choice. That's why they lost their minds completely and released a virus on the world and put the media into full panic in 2020 to ensure that he wasn't going to win again because they couldn't let it happen. I don't know what they're going to do this time, but they already tried to assassinate him, and my entire life has been a lie. It's been deceived. There's been a false idea that we have leaders that represent us, because we don't. We have secret society elites that have their own agenda that are ruling behind the scenes to give us a false choice. And it's been that way for as long as I can tell. I don't know before I was born. I was born in 91, right? I'm not that old. But as long as I've been alive, we have not had a real choice in the presidency, and that's why they don't want Trump to win again, because he is the only one in my lifetime that has gone against the grain. He didn't start any new wars. That should be the biggest ticker for you. There's been new wars popping up during every single presidency for my entire life, and that hasn't happened with Trump. He stopped the wars. He wanted to pull his troops out of Afghanistan that now the Kamala Harris administration wants to blame him for somehow. Doesn't make sense. But he's
because
the
they
one
can
who's
just
gone
say
against the
it.
grain.
They can just say it. They can put it out there. They can say anything in the world that they want because the media doesn't fact check them and they don't hold them accountable. And Obama said it. If we just spew as much BS into the airwaves as we want, and no one will know what to believe. He said it himself. But just like you said, there right now there are over 200 Republicans, former and current. That number is a combined total of the two, former and current, that are supporting Kamala Harris. This is the false right-left paradigm, guys. What you're looking at are not people that are Republicans or conservatives, rather, that are going to support Kamala. What just happened is everyone's mask came off. And the reason that happened is because we're winning, because they're afraid, because they're scared. Now what they have to do is say, guys, we have to put up a united front and make it look like all sane people are on the same side. And this is above politics, which is the lie they're telling, that it's above politics. It's about globalism. And you don't think that those TDA members and every other illegal immigrant that came through that, military age people, picking what city they go to, getting free plane tickets, getting $200 in food stamps and $4,000 in monetary aid every single month. We don't get that. I've been unemployed before and needed help. I didn't get that. I didn't get nowhere near that. And the idea that, we don't help out our own people. We're overlooking the Black community. We're overlooking the indigenous community. We're overlooking all other minority communities in this country. And we're importing a new voting base and a new demographic and giving them everything they need to succeed. Hell, we're even giving them houses. We're even giving them the down to put on the house, telling them you don't owe a single dime on that house until you sell it. And California and Chicago both have programs to help illegals buy houses. What housing program do you have? Right? The only thing we have barely is like first-time buyer programs, and they're nowhere near the level of what they're giving these people that are coming from other countries right now. But the idea.
No, and remember back in 2020, Kamala Harris was part of that crew up on the Democrat nominee stage when all the nominees were deciding to run for or I guess they were all trying to run for president, and they were asked, "Would you support free health care for illegal immigrants?" All of them raised their hand. Kamala Harris is one of those. So she not only does she want to do that, but she wants to give them free health care.
Yeah.
What does that mean? What does that mean? What does free health care mean? That means your taxes. That means your money.
Ain't no such thing as free. Universal basic income. That was her idea. That was her brainchild. That is a socialist tenet. This is what they do to take over places. So how they've done it in Marxist countries in the past, socialist countries in the past, Stalin, Lenin, all these guys, what they do is they get the people to depend on the government wholly for everything they need. And that's why I love that statement that was made by Ronald Reagan in the 80s. He said, a government big enough to give you everything you need is a government big enough to take everything you have. Guys, you're signing up to be slaves. When you send your kids to public school, you're signing your kid up for indoctrination camp. It's time to take your life back, time to take your values back, time to bring them back under your roof. Get with your church, get with people that are like-minded, find out who they are. I know it's hard because they make it hard intentionally. Everything Maurice and I just talked about when it came to that virus are things they didn't want us to say. They don't want me to tell you that my wife had an adverse reaction to that vaccine and how bad it is. They don't want it so bad that they'll give us strikes and things like that for saying it, for telling you. That's how bad that they don't want the truth out there. They will ding us for telling you. They'll shut social media accounts down. Listen to what Zuckerberg
That's why we're on
said.
X. That's why we push on X and Rumble, because these are the last two beacons of a semblance of free speech. And I mean, this is the last frontier. if we lose this election, both X and Rumble will disappear. And so will
we.
Everything that you thought you knew about what America was. This is it. You guys, Agenda 2030 is a real thing, and they want you to own nothing by 2030. So with Trump winning in 2016, all their plans got screwed up. So they had to improvise a bit and kind of force it down our throats. So, but they want all this to be done by 2030. That doesn't happen if Trump wins. There's a whole different set of problems if Trump wins.
And
so,
if you don't believe
we're going through hard times either way. Any way you look at this, we're going through hard times. If Kamala wins, we're going through really hard times. If Trump wins, we are going to face the opposition of the globalists who are going to throw a fit that they don't have control of America, and they will try to inflict as much damage as they possibly can.
Debbie, I want to address your Truth Social comment. We love Truth Social. Don't get me wrong. It's just a platform right now that's very hard for us to grow on. We're there. We post there. I'm active on it. They don't have a streaming platform yet. I hear that's coming. But we love Truth Social. Absolutely. We're there as well. But guys, do us a favor. Go over and follow us at the Patriots Prayer on Truth Social. Come follow us on Rumble. Here's the thing, guys. We have a combined total of well over 400,000 followers on the Patriots Prayer Network. Well over 400,000 followers. But guys, we have 4,400 followers on Rumble. The way things happen here and the information that we're willing to disseminate, the things that we're willing to tell you, the truth that we're willing to say, that we won't shut up. And we will absolutely take on any problem and talk about anything. And all we need is your support. And your support is as easy as going to rumble.com/the Patriots Prayer and clicking follow. That's it, guys. That's it. I promise you. That's it. Do that. Do that for us. Help us grow that Rumble account. Follow all of our accounts on this thing. I'm right here at the Patriots Pray. If you're not following Maurice at La Native Patriot, guys, this is how we grow, and they can't stop us. It's just like on election day. If you just find someone in your life that you know doesn't take part and then challenge 4 of your friends to do the exact same thing, there's no way that we can be beat. We outnumber them. That's why they try to beat us psychologically. What do you think the news is? What do you think the media does? They lie to us. They try to make us conform to what they tell us the norms are. And then we just blindly accept that as the truth. Boys or girls, that's why we're putting tampons.
We don't.
Yeah, we don't. I'm talking about Americans.
Nah, fuck that.
As I would say Americans, but like people, Americans in general, the ones that are basically subscribed, the ones still wearing the damn face masks, man. If we were just,
oh my gosh, dude, I went to the fair this last weekend. Okay, 2 things I noticed. One, I'm in Washington State. All right. I went to the Puyallup Fair, or the Washington State Fair, is now what it's called, and it was above 80 degrees. It was fairly sunny, and first thing I noticed, there was a substantial amount of people still wearing masks. Really weird. Outdoors, still wearing masks. And 2, there was a giant uptick in they-thems there. It was really odd. There were so many people I saw that you couldn't. They were like a feminine boy.
Gender fluid.
They look like.
Gender fluid.
Yeah, it's like you couldn't always tell. You're like, I don't know what that is. It's like it could be like a.
Is it proper to walk up and just say, "What are you"? I mean, is that? I don't know the etiquette, man. I just avoid it. That's why I like the masks. I hate to say it, but I do. Because I can tell who you are and I can just avoid you. It's like a giant red flag on your face saying, I should not talk to you. We're not the same. It's fine.
I did see at least 10 MAGA hats, though. So that's good. We're improving.
Really?
Our numbers are going. Oh, yeah. And this is at the Washington State Fair. So Western Washington still. And I even went up and talked to one of them, And I just asked him why he was wearing it. And he just said, because I love Trump. And I was like, all right, cool. I was like, have you gotten any shit? And he goes, no. Everybody who's talked to me about it says that they love my hat. So I would encourage more people to wear their MAGA hats out, because for the most part, you're just going to get compliments. At least that's what I've noticed.
Yeah.
And that's what but yeah,
well, here's the
they
thing,
them
right?
definitely outnumbered the MAGA hats. I'll say that.
When we were at that little private Trump deal that we went to, and I ran into a friend of mine, somebody I used to work with, and it was like came up to me, was happy to see me, wondered why I was there, what I was doing. He saw the little group we were with, and he was intrigued, and he came over and he asked. But the thing was, I was like, Chris, I haven't seen you in a while. I said his name, damn it. But anyway, he didn't want anyone to know that he was there. So Chris Kaluuya, he was there. So I just want everyone to know he was there, because he was trying to be an undercover supporter for Trump. And I don't respect it at all. At all. He was there, and he should not be. Yes, Chris. Chris was there. He cannot hide the fact that he cannot be a closet supporter for Trump. That's bullshit.
Nope.
Time to wear your hats, wear your shirts, wave your flags, put your bumper stickers on, and screw the people who don't like it.
You know what? If Trump loses and Kamala wins,
Thaddeus is
then
a fool, man.
you said it.
Yeah, but I didn't expect him to be typing it in. But no, you're cool, brother.
You're the
cool,
one
man.
who said it.
I put him on blast. Hell with it. Yeah, he deserves to be on blast. You don't go somewhere and then undercover support. Oh, I don't want my job to find out I support Trump.
No, that
my God,
yeah, that really is something.
It's ridiculous.
You know, my boss is an import from California, and he's like he was very liberal when he first came over, but now he's a little bit less liberal. But he like fully supports all the stuff I'm doing. He's like, hell yeah, man, go get it, go do it. That's why I'm able to make this podcast twice a week now.
Here's the thing: we are the liberals now, and guys, hear what I'm telling you before you jump on me.
Yeah, that's true.
What I mean by that is we're the ones fighting for free speech. That's a liberal tenet. We're the ones saying that we should agree to disagree. That is a liberal tenet. The left doesn't do that anymore. They're Marxists. They're socialists.
True.
They're communists. They're not liberals, guys. This is why people like what's her name with the white streak?
Tulsi Gabbard.
Tulsi Gabbard. Why she left? Why a Democrat? I say a Democrat socialist, but still a Democrat. RFK left. They wouldn't even put him on the ballot. Why he left. But there's a lot of Democrats that are siding with us. They like to point out these guys like this. They want to throw these guys in our face.
Dick Cheney, your father, a beloved figure among Democrats for many, many years. Do you, if you know who he will be supporting or who he'll be voting for, do you care to share with us who he might be voting for?
Dick Cheney will be voting for Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
Damn, he didn't even say it himself. His wife said it? Holy shit. I didn't even know that. What a cuck. Oh my gosh. There's no way my wife would come out like there's a 0% chance that my wife would speak for me on who I'm voting in that way, unless like I already announced it or something like that. But there's just no way that it's his daughter.
Yeah, it's his daughter.
That's his oh, okay.
And she's gay.
I literally don't care about them.
I was going to wait till you got done and tell you.
My bad. My bad.
But even
okay,
still, his
that's
daughter
his
was speaking for him. His gay daughter, right? So, the fact that she even tried to pretend to be a Republican was really something odd. Even she sat on that January 6th committee like it was a real committee, hiring Hollywood producers to come in and create their videos to make it look like there was a real insurrection, guys, a real one. Bullshit, right? Complete and utter
I mean, even with all of their footage, when they compile it together, you're like, like there's not really all that much.
There's some stuff that took place. There were some police officers that were sprayed. There were some windows that were broken. Those incidents took place. We're not denying them. But who do we shoot? What do we set on fire? Who do we jump, hurt, kill, beat, do any of that? Tell me one person. You can't. Brian Sicknick died of a heart attack. Roseanne Boylan died because the authorities killed her and she was trampled because of what they were doing. The Ashley Babbitt was shot by a coward who didn't even say get back, stop, and he was protecting nobody. So and he got a promotion for a shooting in an innocent little 110-pound unarmed white woman, right? And it's just ridiculous that that's how far it went. His name is Michael Byrd. I don't want anyone to ever forget that guy's name. Michael Byrd. Remember it, because we're 10 years from now, we're still going to be talking about that damn coward and how he shot that unarmed woman who actually risked her life and fought for this country. And that coward didn't do a damn thing. So I don't want to say the rest of what I think about him because I'll get in trouble. But guys,
Thanks,
don't ever forget those things. I wanted to talk about the ADL too, but go ahead.
I put a lot of these guys on a list, just like a list to remember, because I'm bad with names, right? So I try to.
I like how you put it.
Write them all down.
I like how you put it a little bit better. So there were some people that were on the Trump staff that also left and started supporting Kamala as well after the fact. And let's talk about who they are and let's talk about why. Stephanie Grisham, she quit. You know what day she quit? January the 6th, she resigned. And she had all these things that she was going to release to the press already pre-released before January the 6th. Come up with your own conclusions as to why that happened. Right? What's the other one's name? Because I took notes. I made a list.
I got to be honest. I am so sick about talking about January 6th. Apart from the political prisoners that have been in solitary confinement and have been obviously mistreated compared to our standard justice system, I'm so tired of talking about January 6th as if it was this horrible day for our country. Like,
right.
Yeah, it was something, but it wasn't what they are telling me it was. Right? This was a pre-planned strategic thing to shove in our faces and use against us.
Exactly.
Like.
And but that is a good indication of what they will do in the streets should people actually start standing up for themselves. Let's take, for instance, Colorado
people.
Right. It is. It's because it's just like I said before on other podcasts. You either vote now or fight later. Pick one. Yeah. Are you going to vote now or fight later, or maybe both? But still, if Donald Trump does not get into this White House, everything you knew, loved, and thought the United States was disappearing. We're not using euphemisms.
We still might lose it, even if Donald Trump wins. Like I understand what you're saying, but I want to stress this as well. Like, even if Donald Trump wins, we still might lose it all. Like, our fight begins when Donald Trump wins.
That's
like,
right.
if Donald Trump loses, then we already lost. If Donald Trump wins, then we are on the brink of losing for years. And that's when we really have to start taking our country back. There's no victory in Donald Trump winning. It is literally just like a less difficult road to take. That's it.
I'm standing here in suspense. Russ typed in America was created by the, and then he just, I don't know.
What
you left it open, bro? The. Yeah.
The.
I don't know what that is.
I posit the.
Is that the other 3-letter agency, the THE? I've never heard of it.
Maybe he's just saying God. Maybe he's saying God wins in the end. Maybe he is saying that God already has this planned out. But you guys, God works through people as well. So if God has this planned out, do not discount your role in what God has planned for you.
And sometimes
if God wins in the end,
battle.
What?
Sometimes you can, like, if someone challenges you into a fight and you may know you're going to lose going in, you still fight, bro. You still do what's right. You still stand your ground. You're going to lose, but that's fine. But you fought. So to say, hey, what can I do? So I'm going to do nothing. That's a coward's way out. You fight and you lose, but at least you fight.
Yeah, God has something planned for you. He has something planned for all of us, and it is going to take all of us working together in order to get this done. And
So-
that means once Donald Trump wins, that's when the real work begins.
That's
And
right.
that's when we
Because
gotta
what
get
about
tough
after
up
Donald
here.
Trump? What about when Donald Trump's gone? What about when that 4 years is up? I mean, who knows? Do we go right back to the fake establishment politics that was always there? I don't know, because I think their plan is kicked into overdrive right now, and whatever they're planning to do, they're getting ready to do. Like their depopulation strategy is in play. Like that's exactly what all that was. So the ADL, right? The ADL, the Anti-Defamation League, is I want to talk about them for a second. They are a foreign entity operating as an agency on American soil.
Okay.
That's what they are. And this is listen to what they're saying, and then listen to who they're working with. Keep in mind, these are not Americans, and they don't have American interests at heart. Listen.
Work with Google on using AI to try to interrupt cyber hate before it happens. We work with YouTube to get them to change their algorithms. We work.
Hold up. Did he just say cyber hate before it happens? I got to replay
Right.
this.
Yes, precog. If you watch Minority Report, that's what he's talking about.
So who's this guy?
He's a rep from the Anti-Defamation League. I don't know his name.
Ah, okay. I don't care about his name. He's Baldy. I'm going to call him Baldy.
We work with Google on using AI to try to interrupt cyber hate before it happens. We work with YouTube to get them to change their algorithms. We work with Facebook on trying to use a redirect method.
And
we work with.
He also said that he's trying to work with Twitter, but Elon Musk isn't playing nice. But look who he talks to next. Go ahead.
I wonder why we get zero traction on YouTube. I wonder why we get zero traction anywhere but the free speech X.
Yeah.
And a little bit on Rumble. We're working our way over there. It's hard to grow there.
Right.
But in all reality, it's like YouTube shuts us down in every single way. We get no views on YouTube. And honestly, I don't care. I really don't like YouTube. They can go, you know, I don't want to say.
Yeah. Well, here's the other video that he had. So there's a lot of these, but I just gave you two to kind of show you who they're playing with and who's helping them. Watch.
FBI that works directly with the ADL every day, and we could not do our job, if you will, of fighting anti-Semitism without them doing their job of protecting our community. So, Director Ray, we are in your. We really have the deepest appreciation for you and all of your professionals. Thank you for the work that you do.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Of course.
Thank you for what you do.
So these guys, you know, the ADL should have came out after October the 7th, a lot harder. They should have been there at these colleges fighting all these anti-Semitism and hate going on. They didn't. They encouraged it. They inflamed it. They stayed quiet. They didn't play the role they were meant to play in these situations, and you can see exactly why. These are the ones that are coming up. These are the fake ones, right? God talked about it in Revelation, called them fake Jews, right? These guys are not who they're telling you they are, because you heard what he said. He wants to be able to stop accounts like ours from being able to broadcast because he's trying to guess at what we might say next by using AI algorithms and shutting our account down and muting it before it has a chance to catch fire. Let me tell you what would happen. I put a YouTube video out about 2 years back before they started looking, right? Go back and look at the old the Patriots Pray YouTube. I did some reaction videos and early on podcasts and thousands of views. And then within a week, it was like down to 5, 4, or none. Just that easy. It's not that people are not vibing with what they're saying. If they get out of the way, if the gatekeepers get out of the way, it's through the roof, dude. It's just like it is on X, and like it is when it's look, we got 4,844 people right now looking at the podcast. Imagine across all spectrums if we actually had free speech platforms that wouldn't play gatekeeper and would get the hell out of the way and let the truth be told. We wouldn't have to fight these fights. They want to kill us. They want to maim us. They want to mute us. They want to make sure that you're not breeding and you're not repopulating, but they're going to bring in people that they do want to repopulate because they're pushing the Planned Parenthood agenda and all that. They push
They
those
want a
in
serf class.
the black communities. Yeah, they push those in black communities. They push those in white communities. Hell, the Dems had a novelty set up outside of the DNC, a little van where you could go kill your baby before you went and cheered on Kamala.
50.
Come on, people. You know exactly
50.
who these people are. 50 people did it. So they had child sacrifice to the tune of 50 unborn human beings that they sacrificed at the DNC to their God, right? The God that they worship, which is, let's take who was the God in the Old Testament that pushed gender fluidity? Her name was Ishtar, which became Molech and Baal later. So these are literally demons. The whole idea of transgenderism is a religion because you have to believe you're a girl, accept that, and then force everyone else to believe it.
Well, you
And
also
it's a faith-based religion.
It's also implied that God made a mistake with you. So you automatically, from the start of believing in this religion, this transgenderism, you have to resent God. That is the basis of their religion, is you have to hate God because he made a mistake putting you in the wrong body. That man can fix God's mistake because he did the wrong thing. That is the very basis of transgenderism. So there is zero chance that there is going to be anything prosperous from this new religion that they've created. Well, actually, that they've furthered in a different name now. But I mean, there's more than transgenderism. Look at what they've done to the black community in the cities. They've been pushing this rap, and I mean, you can look up any of the new rap songs. Hundreds of millions of views of just straight degenerate, disgusting
popping Molly,
rap.
drinking lean, just debasing women, and now women are putting out
waving around guns, being tough thugs. I'll kill you for this and that and blah blah blah. Fuck these guys. It is insane that they've been pushing this for so long, and they've forced it down the throats of all the people that are struggling in these inner cities. They don't have any hope because they've grown up in these low income places, and the only thing that they have is materialism and the rappers that they look up to. The rappers that have already sold their souls, that show all of these kids in these low income areas to absolutely ruin their lives and ruin the lives of everyone around them. They don't stand a chance. There are so many, even on reservations, my uncles, and they all dressed up like gangsters. They all thought they were thug. I still got uncles that don't even smile in pictures, and they're over 50 years old. What the hell are you doing, man? You're around family. Smile. You're not a thug. And it drives me crazy because I lost two uncles. One to an overdose. The other one was trying to steal copper from a power line because he was trying to get more money for more drugs. And he was, I think he was 17. He was very, very young. I lost him when I was a little kid. But they've poisoned these communities. They're attacking in so many ways. And I don't know how to tell everybody that they want you dead, and they're doing it in devious ways. The ways that they're attacking the mind is insane, and like I can't explain it all to you, but I know that this degeneracy that they're showing is bad. I know that that's wrong, and if I can turn people away from that and turn people towards God, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna do my best.
But you just what you just said was right. You had how many little kids go to see Kamala, right? Being taken there by their families and all. And who did they have come out? Megan Thee Stallion. This is who they want your kids to emulate. They'll say someone saying something about God or Jesus and all that is divisive. They don't want to hear from you. But they will bring out this rap chick to get on stage and twerk for your 12-year-old to emulate. And that's okay. Kill babies and twerk. that's what the Democrat Party is. Babies, kill babies and twerk, and have trans people show up to your elementary school and read these stories to your children and expose your kids to pornography and have teachers send them home with assignments in the 5th and 6th grade about sexual positions and all these types of things. I wish I was making this up, dude. I really wish that everything I just said I was making up. I don't want to be right. This is not I don't want to have clickbait style stuff to be able to say to sound more inflammatory to get more likes. I want a world where I don't even have to do this. Honest to God, I would rather have a world where I don't have to fight against things that are killing our children, that are turning our country into some backwards, upside down, third world dictatorship. But that's what it is. If you connect the dots, you connect them to the fact that these guys are globalists. We talked about the Yaleys. We talked about Skull and Bones. We talked about Bohemian Grove. We talked about the gender fluidity and the gender fluidity as it relates to Ishtar, which relates to Molech, which is the god they worship at Bohemian Grove. That's what that statue is up there. Guys, the truth is stranger than fiction, but I'm telling you, this is a spiritual battle. You're fighting demons. That's what you're fighting.
It's been a spiritual battle, and we're way behind. This has been
we're
fifth
fighting
generational
demons.
warfare for a very long time. They started attacking inner cities. They started attacking the poor. They started importing more poor to overwhelm the middle class and to grab everybody from that middle class who wants to climb up. They want to grab all of them and pull them back down, and they want to create that separation because they don't want you to own anything and they expect you to be happy. Well, I'll tell you what, here in America, we own guns, and we may have been asleep for a very long time, but I'll tell you what, we are waking up, and we will not go quietly. The patriots of this country will rise up. It is time to take our country back, and we will. It is inevitable. There is there is a 0% chance that these communists and globalists win. 0.
So do you know what the biggest indication that we're winning is? Believe it or not, guys, we are winning right now. It's a fight back from we were asleep too long, and this happened, and we have some pushback to do, but we are winning. And the reason why we know we're winning is because George Bush's are supporting Kamala's openly, because Dick Cheney's are supporting Kamala openly. This is an indication of winning, not losing. They're realizing that we're encroaching on their territory. We're stopping their globalist ambitions. Now they have to take their masks off and stand up and line up on one side. So now we can tell who the real players are. And the only reason that's happening is because we backed them into a corner. They have nowhere to go. They have to fight from a unified position. So now you get to identify who your enemy is. You get to identify who's the ones going after your children, who's trying to censor you, who's trying to imprison you, who's trying to put poison in your food and in your medicine, who's doing all these things, in your water. I liken living in the United States right now, like getting up in the morning and putting on my Oculus and just existing the rest of the day. If I were a leftist, that's exactly what I'd be doing. It'd be like waking up, putting on my virtual reality, and then going around the whole world like this, like that's what's real, because they believe what CNN says. They believe what MSNBC and NBC and ABC and CBS and faux news. They believe what they say. And guys, if we had a media that told you the truth, we wouldn't have to fight half of these battles. Our media is one of our biggest enemies. I put it at the top. Honest to God, I think they're worse than terrorists.
They're the foot soldiers. They're the Gestapo. Yeah. They are the ones who are carrying out the orders from the regime up on high. But since they are the Gestapo, but they're not of the physical form. They're not the ones going out and kicking your door in to kidnap your child because they said something naughty, right? They are the ones who are kicking in the door into your child's room by way of the internet to convince them that you are the bad guy, to convince them that the old way is wrong, that Kamala Harris has got this brand new, she's joyous and she's going to save all of the problems. So they are the new age Gestapo, but they're attacking the minds of your children, to sterilize themselves, to go through gender affirming care, that the world is going to end in a couple of years because of climate change, and that if we don't do anything and everything to stop Mr. Donald Trump, the evil fascist, evil big bad guy, then the world's going to end.
I mean, guys, don't forget. Watch this. I'm going to show you something. This is who you're getting ready to elect if you vote for Kamala. Watch this.
This is.
Get your help now. Let's go. Light him up. Go inside now. Get in the hell.
Let me tell you what you were just watching there. What that is, that was what happened during the COVID lockdowns. The police were running through the streets and shooting at regular citizens with paintball guns. And they had the real arms on them as well. But they were shooting at regular citizens, yelling at them to get in the house. And they were standing on their own porch. They're standing out front of their houses on their own porches. But the Gestapo, to use your word, were running through the streets, yelling at free American citizens protected by a constitution, get in the house, and shooting at them.
Let me
That's
emphasize
who's running for president right now.
Let me emphasize as well that Trump was in office at the time, and the reason that this went so wild was because he granted all the power back to the states. He basically told all the states, hey, you guys do what you want, do what's right for your state. I can't tell you from the presidency. There's not one way to fix this. So you as governors, fix this. Tim Walz, the man now being used by Kamala Harris to like get the moderate vote or something. I'm not sure exactly. But he had an authoritarian lockdown where he had his police roaming the streets and shooting at citizens with paintball guns. It's not going to be paintball guns forever, folks. That's the thing.
Nope.
It will escalate. And next time it's going to escalate. It'll be pepper balls. And then it'll be rubber rounds. And then it'll be live ammunition at some point. These things don't just happen.
Don't forget that these are the people that they were proud about the riots. They were proud about their city burning. Tim Walz's wife was happy about it. Let me see if I can find the clip. 2 seconds here.
Of course, that's literally part of their agenda, is to cause chaos. Like the 2020 should be a great example for how the elites use the little activists to cause chaos and destruction for us, for the regular people. That's what they did, because none of the elites had their homes burned down. Now, I didn't see Bill Gates with 3 of his 18 homes burned down. I didn't see anything like that. You want to fight the power? Target those guys, not your everyday shops in Minnesota or wherever the heck these people are. It's insane.
Check it out.
There were riots. I could smell the burning tires. And that was a very real thing. And I kept the windows open for as long as I could, because I felt like that was such a touchstone of what was.
She was okay with it. She liked it. She reveled in the moment. She wanted to soak in the smell of the tires, to be a part of it. They were okay with the city burning. They were okay with BLM and Antifa tearing up the city, going through taxpayers' shops and just burning and looting it. She was okay with it. They were shooting at people on their porches with paintball guns, telling them to get in. They had locked it. They leaked the time and day that they were going to have the National Guard come in to the public. They put it out ahead of time so that the people that were committing these crimes had time to hurry up and do whatever they wanted to do before the National Guard came in. This is who is trying to be president, people. Just like what Maurice just brought up. Donald Trump allowed the governors to govern their states and did not act like a king. But what is the number one complaint of the left about Donald Trump? He's going to be a dictator. Well, hold up. We've been through this before. He's been president before. Was he a dictator? No, this is bullshit. Complete and utter bullshit. But I tell you what, I believe in order to get things back to the way they need to be, you need a dictator. You need to suspend the Constitution for a time being. You need to go hard. You really need to go hard.
It needs to come from the bottom up, though.
Yeah. But it has to take from people I see people getting punched in the damn face in subway systems and all that. Where are people? Go ahead.
What we're going to have to be okay with is the prosecution of these tyrants, the brutal prosecution that doesn't end
like Nuremberg trials.
Yes, that's what we're going to have to sift through this stuff. We are going to have to unclassify the classified documents. We are going to have to start prosecuting these people, trying them for treason, and then using our actual justice system for actual justice instead of just a political tool to continue getting power. Because in all reality right now, like, we don't have justice. We're not seeking justice in any way, shape, or form. We're having they're literally flying migrants into Ohio, into this tiny little town, so they can eat your pets.
Oh yeah, how about that? That lady ate that cat.
And they have ducks disappearing. They have cats disappearing.
They're just running up in New York Park in Times Square grabbing
it's
ducks.
Narco tyranny. It is all part of the same agenda. So this is one of the reasons why, like, it is so difficult. So for like my politically uninitiated family who just like lean left, it is so difficult to get them to talk to me about these things because they have no understanding that, like, I, as a patriot, hate George Bush. Like, I think he was an evil tyrant. I do not like him in any way, shape, or form. I believe he was a globalist. I don't.
Or
want
his
anything to
daddy,
do
or
with
his
him.
brother.
Yep.
Or any of
and
them.
Dick Cheney as well. And I believe that they are all evil and that they all want the same agenda. That's why they all rub elbows with each other in all these videos. That's why they still hang out. That's why they all hate Trump.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly why. But here are the people they're importing. When they keep telling you the crisis, the migrant crisis, is not that bad. The Republicans and the conservatives, they're overblown, and it's not that bad. We need to help these people.
Why'd you kill the cat? Smile for me. Smile over to you. Go like this. Did you eat that cat? Did you eat it? No, why'd you kill it? Did you guys see all this?
No, we pulled up and she was just laying there with it.
Did you see her eating it?
Eating it.
She was eating it?
Yeah, she was.
Can you call the Humane Society, see if they'll come pick it?
Yuck.
Yeah, they're just going over and.
But I get it.
It's not.
Dude, if I didn't have any food and I found a cat, I'd eat a cat. I'd definitely eat a cat. I'm not saying it's right, but that's what they're doing, man.
But that's not just that. They're not doing it because they don't have no last resort. It's because that is okay
Culture.
where they're from. That's okay where they're from, and this is what happens when you push mass immigration without assimilation, because you do it too fast. You bring too many people into your country too fast. The culture that's there gets overrun by these foreign cultures.
They also have no requirements for these people, okay? They're not requiring them in any way, shape, or form to do anything. We have no standards for these people. They're literally saying, bring in your culture from out there. Yeah, we'll all be hippies and live together, man. No, these people are third world. If you bring in the third world and don't assimilate them, you will become the third world, because that's what they do.
Everett got it right, because that's exactly what I was getting ready to say earlier. I was going to say, maybe we do need to bring back public execution. Maybe people in this country.
That's why I said try them for treason. That's like,
yeah.
But it's just if when you say public execution, it just means that you're going to get the channel banned off YouTube again. Like I was trying to imply it in like a more nuanced way. Yeah. But I mean, that's exactly what it is. So.
Yeah, it's sad though that, because of the way they present the truth to us, that people don't realize how serious and how dire the need actually is for justice, reform, and to actually take our country back again. Guys, it's your country. It's not your governors. It's not your congressmen. It's not your senators. It's not your police chiefs. It's not your neighborhood watch captain. It's not your city council. It's not your school board. It's yours. It's yours. You're an American. You have the ability to protect your home, protect your kids, teach your values, push Americanism. You can do it. Like he was just talking about, Maurice, it's got to be a bottom-up movement. Well,
here it comes.
That's it.
It
That's
starts
what it
with
is.
you. It starts with me. That's what we're doing here, is we're getting people inspired that, hey, you actually have a duty to save this country. It is your responsibility. It is not Trump's. Trump is going to help a bit, a little bit. But in all reality, it has to come from us. Yeah, well, look at that video that you just showed where the police were running around shooting people with paintball guns. Trump was in office. Trump won't save you. He never will. He can't. The president will never save you. It has to come from you. It has to come from me. We have to start networking, getting this message out and saying, hey, fuck these tyrants. It's time for us to take this place back. It's time for us to be private citizens again. It is time for them to be public servants and for us to be able to know exactly where they get their money from and who they're actually representing. Because I can tell that they're not representing me. That these people in office right now, they're not representing us. So who are they representing?
Exactly. And for the police officers out there that do a great job, thank you. But for the guys that are willing to take orders and shoot paintballs at citizens of this country, you're trash. The idea that you were just following orders when you did that does not fly.
All the border
that is
patrol
absolute
trash.
Bullshit. You need to do what's right, and whatever the consequences are for doing what's right, you need to pay them willingly. I don't care if that's prison. I don't care what that is. But all of us need to start to realize people died. There were revolutionary civil wars, all kinds of wars that took place to make this country, to create this country. People willingly gave their lives for the idea of America so that their children could live in a place where they could be free. And we have lost that pioneer spirit, that real, honest to God, patriot spirit. Where is it at, guys? Because I'm telling you, if it was in every state, the moment that Aurora, Colorado was taken over by some foreign entity with machine guns and the police didn't do anything about it, a posse, a militia would have been rounded up in that city, and then they would have went over there and did it what the police didn't want to do. We're not seeing that. And the reason that's why I'm mad, because we're not seeing people do it. When Arthur Long and those guys over you protected the American flag and pushed back those pro-Palestinian protesters, that's why I was so damn proud of those guys, dude.
You know why?
But we need more of
You know
that.
why we don't see the militias?
Oh, yeah, because they probably don't put them on the news.
Now, the first one to do it's going to get the book thrown at them. The first one to go.
That's why you got to be willing. You got to be willing to take that lump.
All right, hold on. Let me finish a sentence here. All right.
There's a lag between you and I.
Stop it. The first one to go and take area back in a militia form will be deemed a domestic terrorist group, and they will get the book thrown at them.
Absolutely.
And that's just the way it is. And nobody's willing to take that first step yet because they don't see it as a threat enough. And I guess we'll
that's
see.
right.
Well,
January 6th is a perfect example of that, right? They showed you what they wanted you to see. They twisted the story and put it in the media. Yeah. That's how patriots are going to be vilified and painted in the press. Mm-hmm. If and when a battle happens, a fight takes place, you're going to be told a lie about what our intentions were, what was in our heart, what was in our minds, what we actually did. It's going to be a lie, and it's going to be presented like it's the truth by these people that are telling you they're conservatives, but they're full of shit. Because how can a conservative, whether or not you like Donald Trump at all, zero or not, be okay with electing and endorsing an actual outspoken communist like Tim Walz? Did you know Tim Walz was in China during the time of Tiananmen Square?
Yeah.
Tiananmen Square, where all the college students, Tiananmen Square was a protest where they were trying to democratize China. And they had a guy.
I know what Tiananmen Square is.
I'm telling everyone else. The idea that the college students would go in and fight for democracy and install a new leader, they were met with the military. Tim Walz was there. He was still enlisted at the time, and he held a clearance. guys, you cannot have, and I'm telling you, I know this for a fact, you cannot have a clearance and live in an adversarial country and keep that clearance. Why in the hell was Tim Walz allowed to have that clearance and live in China and be okay with the Chinese government and say all these things that he's probably been saying for a hell of a long time? Did he fly under the radar? Was it just a mistake, or did he admit out loud right now that he broke the law?
You guys, this is why we're creating a network. Because conservatives, for the most part, are driven by necessity, and they want to be left alone. And if we allow the media to control the entire narrative of what actually goes on, then we will lose. We will forever lose. There's no way we can battle it. We'll all be screwed. If we don't start networking and having each other's backs when shit gets hard, because it's about to get hard. And like I said, whoever wins this election, it's going to get hard. There is no easy route out of this. It's going to get difficult. It's going to get worse. We have to go through this mud in order to come out in a better place. If we don't have any kind of a network in any way, shape, or form, we will lose. We have to be able to communicate. We have to be able to have each other's backs. We have to be able to speak the truth. That is the only way it's going to happen. So just understand that we're just two average guys, patriots of this country, who believe in God and want to have the best for this country. Just give us a follow, share it around, spread the message. We love you guys. I know that the news kind of gets taxing, but understand that this is the easy part. The talking, the getting the information out there, this is the easy part, okay? But you got to participate. You got to start spreading the message. You got to start liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting. I would like to see a few more comments in the comment section. I do read all of them, or at least as much as I can. But it is going to get so much worse whether or not Trump wins or loses. But
that's right.
But I want to have a network of patriots. I called it a tribe of patriots. I would like to have a tribe of patriots that stand together and are able to combat this, because we are severely lacking this in this country. We are lacking the spine and the conviction needed in order to overcome the narrative put out by these trillionaires. Like, we are fighting a $1 trillion media industry that have been playing fifth generational warfare for a very long time, and they have so many people convinced that there was actually Democrats and Republicans fighting against each other. And we just exposed tonight, like, I mean, you guys most of you probably already knew that Bush is no different from Clinton, and Clinton is no different than Obama, and that Trump wasn't supposed to win, and that he screwed up all those plans, and that Agenda 2030 was supposed to come to fruition in 2030, and they're in
under
full panic right
Hillary.
now. Yes, because they have Kamala Harris now as their front runner somehow. But they are in full panic mode, and desperate people do desperate things. So keep your head on a swivel, have your buddies' backs, get a network of buddies, know your neighbor, know your friends, share the word, subscribe if you can. God bless you guys. God bless America. I got to get going out of here, though.
There it
It's
is.
getting late.
But guys, like he said, pulled this up for a reason. Come over here. Look at this network that we put together. Jersey Shore, 2 guys, 1 coup. Guys did amazing work this past weekend with veterans organizations. Nate Kane, ex-federal agent who had testified against Hillary, actually. Debased mother. There is a lot going on this network, guys. And what we need you to do is very simple. Cost you no money. And Steve. I like that. We should just put that in. We should just put that at the end of everything. And Steve.
And Steve.
And Steve. Guys, just give us a follow here at rumble.com/The Patriots Prayer. We're going to have podcast streaming morning, noon, and night every day of the week. We're starting a sports network is actually coming here in just a few days. We're going to be a PPN Sports, going to be a different channel than this one, and there will be a health and wellness one as well, and in a Christian channel as well, a PPN. So there's Patriots. A lot going on. But all shared value system, guys that just absolutely love this country, would kill and die for it. And that's how I classify myself. If that's you, give us a follow. Join the network, guys. Join the tribe of patriots. And with that, we'll close out. And as usual, the silent majority, you need to stop being silent and stand your ground. We'll see you next time on the Patriots Prayer. You guys have a great one.
This is the Patriots Prayer Podcast. It's a tremendous show, one of the greatest shows in the history of the world.
This is Bryson Gray, and you are watching the Patriots Prayer.
Soon on the Patriots Prayer Network. Thank you all.
America's falling, they all say. Together